Hi guys, welcome to my tutorial about SharePoint customization. As you remember, we were done with some button styling and implementation of the functions to update properties of our workflow. Let's continue now with the setting of the visibility buttons for particular users. Because, for example, if I'm a manager, I need to be able to click approve reject button, but if I'm a regular employee, I just need to be able to send my request for approval. Well, first of all, let's set some CSS classes to be able easily to access to our buttons. Okay, let's go to our HTML markup. As you remember, this is stored within site assets library under the HTML folder. Open document card HTML in edit mode. By the way, I changed the room, you see. Let's set some CSS options. Here we're gonna set send button. And here approval dialog button. Save it. Go to the CSS. Edit our CSS. Let's add this display none to the CSS. Save it. And we can refresh now our page. And buttons are gone. Okay, let's implement logic to show this button if our case is true. For example, I'm going to show send to approval button only if I am person who creates this request. Actually, we already have function implemented which is called document form unload, and this function executes every time when we are loading our request in a browser. And what is implemented here, we're just fetching properties for our current document list item and putting it some variable. That means after execution this function, we will have doc list item already within request data structure. Here we call in on query succeeded, but let's make it more logic specific and call here some different function. Let's call it function document loaded. And here we can set some logic. For example, we will have here within document list item some properties. We can access them by get item function. For example, to have here approval status. And after ID, I'm going to take ID of the user who creates this request, and I can do this by this structure get item author, and I have function get lookup there, get lookup ID, which will return me the ID of the basically author. And I can compare it with current user ID, have it within SP page context info library, and if this ID is equal author ID, and if approval status is empty, that means approval not even began. And in this case I can show my send button. Selector dot send button. show. And let's call it this function here when our request is going well. Save. Let's try how it works. First of all, let's be sure that our scripts are loaded. Here we can see that we have old scripts. Control F5. Yeah, now we have new one. Let's debug it a bit to see everything work normally. Yes, go. Approval status is approved because we already clicking approve reject button before. Author ID is 11, which is me, and current user is 11. But button not be shown because approval status is already approved. Let's create the new request to see what happens if everything works fine. New document set. Request 2. In the description, I am tired. Save. Let's debug it now. Click. Approval status is null, not now, empty string. So let's change the if. It will be null. Yeah, now we can see button is there. So let's implement logic for the second button. I have an idea here that we have approvers list already, and if I can approve or reject request, I should be somewhere in this column. So let's query this list, and if query will find me within this column, more than null actually, then button will be shown. Let's implement this logic. We have a function with a camel query there, which is get approver. Let's copy it and change the logic a bit. Command loaded. Show approve button. Here's OK, approvers list, look up current user, but here we need to change the column. And column name is employee manager. I'm just taking from URL to be 100% sure. True, yeah. And actually here I go into check list items length more than null. That means query found some entries where I am employee manager. In that case, show the button. Why we have no button here? Because I'm not a manager. Let's add another item called manager. I am manager. and set me as an approver of myself. Now I am in employee manager column. Let's say if buttons is shown. Yeah, it works. And now we're going to implement some data here to be shown about our request to make it user-friendly and yeah, beautiful, let's say. Okay, first of all, we need to add some markup here, but before this, I wanted to introduce you some templating solution. We have a couple of them actually, and I was working before with a Knockout, for example, and with Angular 1, which was template solution for the templating solution for that times. But I found that I have something simpler, and this simplest, at my point of view, solution for the templating is called Handlebars. You can easily Google it. It has a very nice site with the explanation, and actually here you have everything you need to start implementation with this. So I think reasonable to use this library when you have to build some very simple tables just with the multiple strings or something like that. And let's use it. So let's insert our handlebars markup. Open document card HTML, which is within our site assets library under HTML folder, and insert here markup for our custom document card. I'm already prepared HTML. This will be under the script tags. I call it doc details template. Type is defined here. You can see how to implement it on the Handlebars site. And I implemented here document type, created and created by information, very important information, current approver. So employee can see who is now approving his document, vacation request. So this is very useful in real life. We have doc template here, which will be compiled by JavaScript on the fly, and then will be inserted here in the doc details div. Okay, and now let's implement the function which will be compile this template and set information inside. Okay, let's paste this script here in our document loaded function right after show approval button functionality. And I'm going to explain you a bit what I'm doing. First of all, I'm fetching all field values into the data. Second, I initialize instance of the people manager. I need this to fetch name of the user, because here I'm operating on the ID, but to make it more user friendly, I need to show the name in a data card, document card. Here I take in the HTML of our template to use in Handlebars, and I say in Handlebars, okay, compile this template. Now I'm getting date string, so I'm getting created date from the data for our vacation request. I make it user friendly. You know, in JavaScript, get month will return us month number, but zero base it. I don't know why. We need to add 1 to this number, increase by 1, and here I'm going to implement some image URL depends on approval status. Approved, reject, on approved, approval pending. And now I'm setting constant context for the handlebars. And now I call an template function and pass in there our constant with the image URL, with the doc type, creation date, author, and approver values. I get an HTML from handlebar and I set in my HTML into doc details div. Okay, let's see if it works. Click. Let's debug it. Let's see. We see exception here, and if we are going into the data, we will see the reason. Data. We hear the typo. Let's fix it. Site contents, go into our script. You know the procedure actually. Let's open our script, set an editor, go to function, save. Click. Yeah, now we have a data, but wrong button. Okay, we know how to fix it. Let's change doc flow part to block. In CSS, refresh with Ctrl F5 and it works. Yeah. Now we have patched data and some broken image here and broken image because I'm not uploaded the images for the particular status here. Let's have a look. Site assets, img, pending, png. Okay. Site assets. Let's create here the folder we can store our custom images. New folder, img. And I just found some images in Google, in internet. If you have better ones, you can use your own. I have some in my docs. Now I got them. Should work fine. Yeah, and now we have pretty cool document card with a button, and that's fine. Let's try to approve it. Honor to approve. Rest. Approve. Refresh. And we see the picture is changed. Okay, so far so good. Next time we will continue with the implementation some grids.